All right, good morning, viewers. And all three of you, I hope. This, I think I'm going to title my new journey. I had my first journey going on a whole food, plant-based diet, or correctly, lifestyle. And it was interesting. But now I have this journey to go from all the wonderful medical attention that I've had and all the beneficial drugs that I've had. And now my goal is to get rid of them. As I hope you know, I had a procedure. I had it Thursday. It was called a Cardo version. And what I'm going to do today is bore you with all the details. I'll try to spice it up best I can, but you know, it's a medical procedure. And this is what carnivores do. They talk about their procedures. And usually when carnivores get together, they complain about their aches and pains, what medication they're taking, and then they tell you in detail what procedures they've had. And usually when whole food plant-based people get together, they're positive and they discuss new ways to cook the staples that are keeping us alive. So here I am talking about a procedure. I don't know. So here we go. They picked me up Monday morning, they being the ambulance, and took me to the hospital. Now, at this point, I was so disabled. I couldn't walk 5 feet without having really serious, on a 8 or 9 scale of angina. I mean, I thought, to be honest, I thought it was over. I thought this was the end of my life. It's not, and I'm so glad, but I was depressed. So I could barely make it downstairs without having pain. I sat in a chair, called 911. They came to pick me up. They said, "Can you walk?" I said, "No, only 5 feet." I said, "I can't even make it to the front door." I was sitting, 10 feet, 11 feet from the front door. They said, "Oh, well, okay, we'll put you in this chair." And it's like, what the sultans used to be carried around in. They have 4 handles on it, and 2 guys or 4, and I don't weigh that much, so 4 guys could carry me down. So they carried me down to in front of the ambulance where they had a gurney. And they said, "Can you get on the gurney?" "I'll try." So I did. I could get on the gurney. I had angina that lasted in the ambulance more than halfway to the hospital. It's a 25-minute ride. It lasted 10 or 15 minutes easily. So I got to the hospital. They're giving me, on the way, they gave me 3 pills of nitro, which didn't do a thing. I knew it wouldn't because I had tried it at home. I have the little pills in the refrigerator. So I get there, and it's a little, well, there's no other ambulance there, but they wheel me in, and I can't get in. There's a door here and a door here, and then there's a room here. It's like back in the Midwest, a snow room or a mud room. You get in the first door and then go around a corner and go in the second door. Well, you go in the second door and the hallway is all full of people in gurneys with the ambulance driver standing there because they can't get them a room. Oh, wonderful. So they wheel me back out and they put me in this mud room, snow room. We don't have snow. We don't have mud here at the hospital. But it's inside, but outside of the hospital. So And it isn't that cold out. It's probably 50, maybe low 50s. So they're sitting there. And then 3 more people come in. And they all join me in the mudroom. And so, we stay there. I get there at about 9:30 perhaps. And I stay there until noon. And of course, talking to the ambulance driver, I sort of chat with the other people that are sitting there, but, none of us are in a real chat mode. So at noon, they take me into the ER, and I'm lucky. I get a real room in the ER, not they have so many rooms in the ER. Let's make up a number, like 20. Well, they have people sitting outside the rooms or laying down outside the rooms in beds. And then, which is where I was last time, but now at least I'm in a room. All right. So I stay in that room until, I was going to say around 7 o'clock. So 7 hours in the room when nobody does anything. They come in, oh yeah, well, we'll see. And I tell them my story, abbreviated, that I need a Cardo version. I had one 7 months ago and it worked wonders, just like this one did. And I thought, this is what I need. Oh, we don't know. We don't think it'll help you. What do you mean you don't think it'll help? Well, you could have something else serious wrong. Look, my cardiologist went through all this before. You can't argue with it. So finally the hospitalist comes in, and she was a she, nice gal. And she says, well, we've decided to send you home. Oh, no, you're not. What do you mean, you're not? I said, I'm not going home. And I said, until you fix this, I can't go. I can't walk 5 feet. I don't have a life. And I didn't tell him I was worried. So she looks back and she says, well, the only thing we can do is hold you overnight and send you to Mercy. And I'm thinking, I have my buddy who's a cardiologist at Mercy. I said, oh yes, send me to Corinne. And she said, and we can only send you to Mercy, and they'll have to do a procedure on you that's life-threatening. Life-threatening. So I'm going, well, and I didn't think to tell them I'm already scheduled for this procedure, and everybody thinks it's wonderful. It's just a month away, and I don't think I can live like this for a month. I had some concerns if I could even live this long. And I thought it can't be good for my heart to have constant pain, because pain means that pain, I think, is sent out because your cells are signaling there's something wrong with them. So it goes, yeah, all right. So she said, and so I start to question her. And I said, well, why is it that you can't give me a Cardo version? She says, well, because we need to do this, and this first. And I said, wait, you're not giving me a reason. You're just telling me what the protocol is. I want to know what the danger is in a Cardo version now. I'm thinking, because I got one coming up and no one told me it was dangerous. I've already had one. Nobody said it was dangerous. Oh, there's the things, they always tell you at the bottom. So she says, she gets, well, once I didn't, lay down and do what she told, she didn't get defensive, but you could just see this guy isn't, listening to the beat. So she starts to tell me the same thing again, and I interrupted her and say, you're just repeating yourself. You're not giving me a different answer. Well, that set her off. Anyway, so they left me here. they left me in the hospital. And so I'm saying, well, okay, so they take me up to a ward, not a room. It's this room with 20 people in it, and each one has a little curtain around it. So I get no auditory privacy, a lot of visual privacy, but no auditory. And there's a guy talking on the phone, loud guy. And I can hear him, so I'm thinking, you know, they're gonna be able to hear me. So they put me in the room, 2 nurses come in, male and female. The female chats and she asked me some questions, and I let it slip that I've been on a whole food plant-based diet for 7 years. And she, oh, they're wonderful. She says, I tell all of my patients that that's what they need, heart patients, which are most of the people in this ward, surprise, surprise. She said, I tell most of my heart patients that they should do that. And she says, yes. And so then I proceed to tell her what all the benefits I've received. And I said, what, would you like a card? And I had the presence of mind to have my cards with me. So I pull out my card, and there it is. I pull it out, open it up, and give her one. And she says, oh, yes, can I have 2? I said, of course. I give them away. And I said, that's what they're for. And she looks at it, and it was great. The other guy says, oh, yeah, and he didn't say much. So they leave, and the guy that comes in to admit me, because I've been through the ER, now they're admitting me to the hospital, to the ward. All right, so we started talking, and of course, I think he heard part of that when the other 2 nurses were there. So he said, oh, you're on a plant-based? I said, yes. He said, we chatted, and I gave him my card. I repeated my story. Now, some of you that know me know that I'm not the quietest guy in the world. So he leaves, and then the other, one of the male of the original pair comes back, and he said, can I have 2 of your cards? I said, well, of course. And so I handed him out. And then he goes over and gives one to the loud talker. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And then the loud talker yells across the aisle. We start to have this conversation. I heard what you were telling people. I want to do that. I want what you're doing. I thought, you know, this is a guy that understands that he will be healed, because I don't know what he has wrong with him. So he said, my name is Darwin. I said, oh, I love that name, you know. And so we chatted a little bit, and then you can't, you know, in a ward with 20 people, you can't keep yelling across the thing. But I did for a while. And then a couple hours later, not my roommate, the guy in the partition next to me, he said, Al, did he call me Al? No, he didn't. He said, hey, can I have one of your cards too? I said, sure. So we started chatting. We pulled the curtain back. And at the time, I'm still thinking, I can only go 5 feet. I can't even sit up in bed. I'm really crippled. But these people don't know that, so that's all right. So he pulls the curtain back, and we sit and chat. He sits, and I'm laying in bed, and we chat. And he has congestive heart failure. I said, I don't know if it'll fix that, but it certainly can't hope. He had also cured, not exactly throat cancer. He had cancer on your what are you, speaking things, your vocal cords, and so he couldn't talk very loud. So he was a real quiet talker. It was really hard for me to hear him because there's beeping going on and all this sort of thing. So we got to talk. His name is Bob. He lives in Granite Bay. He's going to email me. I'm just tickled pink. I'm just having a ball. Anyway, I got very short time left, 6 seconds. Well, we'll just go over the 15-minute limit, sorry. So there we go, quiet. So they find, so okay, this is Monday. So they say, all right, we'll try to schedule Tuesday morning. That's fine, I'm ready. So Tuesday comes and we're on the schedule for Tuesday to go. But nobody knows when. The nurses come in and say, well, we're on the schedule, but we don't know for sure when. But we're not sure we're going to schedule you for, no, they did that the night before. We don't want to promise you're going to get a Cardo version. They don't want to encourage you. They don't want to have any positiveness in your life. You're only sick and worried about your health. Don't be positive. So, all right, so Tuesday comes, you're on the schedule. The schedule for what, I ask? To be Cardo converted. Oh, all right. So I'm going to be Cardo converted. Fingers crossed. My daughter sent me one of those emojis. I thought, boy, that's appropriate. All right, so they got me from the schedule. So I'm watching a series of videos. I'm reading books. I'm laying all day Tuesday. And, oh, you got bumped. Well, they said we never want to guarantee a schedule because we could have an emergency and somebody else could use the operating room, and we have to get 3 people together. We have to get the cardiologist, we have to get the guy that runs my pacemaker, because he has to make sure it's set. If the shock waves screws it all up, well, then they got to reset it to where it was, and they have to get the anesthesiologist. So there's 2 MDs, a technician, and they all got to be scheduled, and they don't know when to schedule them because if somebody comes in to bump it. So, but you're scheduled, all right. So the guy comes in, and I wait and wait and wait. 4:30, I think they told me. That's what they thought. So wait and 4:30's coming. I'm talking to Dottie. I figure I won't get picked up until late. Dottie doesn't like to drive at night, and I don't blame her. And so I called my daughter, and I said, can you come with Dottie and drive, because she doesn't like to drive. Oh yeah, she'll be fine. And my daughter Jamie knew this, so that was fine. So she's scheduled to come. 4:30 rolls around. Well, they're not always on time. They have hospital time versus our time. Sure enough, 5 o'clock runs around, 5:30. Finally, somebody comes in, and you can tell when they don't have good news. You read the body, and oh yeah, this guy's, he said, comes in, I'm sorry, you got bumped today, you couldn't go, but we got you scheduled for Wednesday morning at 8:30. I say, okay, and I'm unhappy. I'm mostly angry, but I'm unhappy because we got this place is jammed with people. I'm not even in a room. I don't care. I don't have TV. It doesn't bother me. In fact, I kind of like it because I don't have a roommate, and he's going to have his TV on. I'm going to hear his sound. So that was all right. But I'm watching, I have a Kindle, and it's a Fire 7, and it will allow me to watch video. So that's all right. So I watch 8 hours of video, and I get tired of reading, and then I have this power block which allows me to keep it charged, keep my phone charged. So I charge during one day, I'll charge the Kindle at least 2 times. I'll charge my phone 3 times because all my buddies, my plant buddies are texting me, encouraging me. Bless her heart, Chef AJ offered to bring meals over. I mean, she is just a princess. And her husband, Charles, great guy. So it comes by. So I thought, all right. So I will get, they told me Wednesday morning that I was going to be 8:30. Well, they'd already told me that once, so I'm not sure I believe them. So Wednesday morning comes up, and I get ready, and they come in. You're scheduled, nothing to eat. Now, I haven't eaten for 2 days. Well, not truly, because at 5:30 when they come in, they say, oh yeah, you can have something to eat. Well, Dottie had brought me something, so I knew I could eat, but they didn't know that, so they brought in some organic meatloaf, and or maybe it was range-fed meatloaf. I'm thinking, does meatloaf have 4 hoofs and you can take it out into the range and it can free range? I didn't understand that, but I can't eat meatloaf anyway, so I didn't. But they had steamed zucchini and they had steamed mashed potatoes, and that I can eat. And they had a little mushroom gravy on the side, and so I picked the mushrooms out. Not sure, pretty sure that the rest of the gravy wouldn't be that healthy, but at this point, I just needed some nourishment. So I ate that, and that was pretty good. I mean, you know, as good as plain, plain mashed potatoes and steamed broccoli can taste. But once your taste buds change, the zucchini, rather, not broccoli, the zucchini tastes really good. So, okay, I get up Wednesday morning and ready to go at 8:30. I'm ready. Let's go. No breakfast. All right. So nothing happens. Well, nothing happens again. Oh, it turns out you're scheduled for we got you. So just keep pushing you back. All right. So they won't give me a time. They don't know it. I mean, the poor staff, my nurses don't know. And they're trying. Bless their heart. I got to say, Kaiser's overcrowded, overworked, but their quality of their nursing staff is really, really good. So, okay. 5:30 rolls around again. And I don't know if it's the same guy or another guy comes in and says, well, we got bumped again, but you're gone for 8:30 Thursday morning. I'm going, oh yeah. Now, I've laid in the damn bed for 2 days. And so Wednesday, before they give me the bad news, a nurse comes by in the morning and says, would you like to go for a walk? Have you walked today? No, I can't walk 5 feet. No, I haven't. Would you like to go for a walk for 5 feet? And, you know, he said, oh, yeah, okay. And so then I'm laying there and I'm thinking, you know, I'm just laying in bed deconditioning, getting out of shape. This can't be good for me. I said, you know, maybe I can try walking. You know, I may have to do the 6-inch strides, but we'll try. I said, all right. So another nurse comes in the afternoon and she said, would you like walking? Yes, yes. I said, oh, great. And this was a great gal, just absolutely great. So she comes in, she says, well, I will take it. Let me take your vitals first. Okay, so she puts this band around my arm to take my blood pressure, and it's big, wide, and big and long. And she says, oh, this is too big. She says, you don't have a big arm like I do. And she had a good sized arm. And she says, you need a smaller one. And I said, you have to understand, men don't like their body parts described anywhere near the word small. It's just, it isn't good for our egos, for our masculinity. She laughed and she says, and women don't like to be described as big either. And I said, yes, but you're the one that used the word, I didn't. She laughed. So we hit it off great. So we start going for a walk. And she comes back at the end of her shift. And she takes me for, not the end of her shift, when she's done getting vitals from her patients. So she comes back and she's, let's go for a walk. And I said, all right, now you know I can only, it may be only 5 feet and it may be very, very slow. That's all right, whatever you want to do. So we walk slowly and I walk down the hallway and back, and I go back, and I said, I'm going to do this again. And so I do it again. And I said, well, maybe one more time. And not very far. Maybe I walked 30 feet total, which is 3 times, or, you know, 5 times what I could walk before. I'm thinking, I don't know what happened. I have a theory, but I don't know what happened. My theory is that somehow, that when I ate a lot, not for me, not a lot for anybody else in the world, that it took away from my ability, I don't know, somehow my heart, 80, I learned this at True North, 80% of the energy you expend during the day is to digest the food you've eaten. So I'm going, oh yeah. All right, so I got to hurry this up. So anyway, come Thursday morning, 8 o'clock, they wheel me in and they say, okay, you're going to fall. We're going to give you this drug. It's going to make you drowsy. We're going to put this on your nose and you're going to fall asleep. And then we'll wheel you in. Oh, okay. And then we'll wheel you, when it's over, we'll wheel you back out and we'll take you back. Great. So I'm sitting there talking and I'm waiting to fall asleep. And I notice there's a female nurse there. Oh, so I chat with her. And the other guy, my usual guy, comes back and he says, okay, we're done. We're taking you back. And I'm thinking, what? You bumped me again? Well, he didn't understand my question. And he figured I knew I'd already been in and been brought out, and I didn't. And it was all over. It was wonderful. They took me back, and my buddy next door, Bob, he happened to be standing doing his little walk. He said, oh, he's back, and he made a big deal out of it. And I thought, it is so nice to come back to a welcome crowd. All right, I think that's it. There's probably more, but I bored you enough. So this is the beginning of my new journey. I have feeling wonderful. It was a super success. I've been going up and down stairs all day. I got back Friday, Thursday night. That's right, Thursday. Friday, I went up and down stairs. I actually went to the market and a long walk across the parking lot. It's been wonderful. I fixed up, this is terrible. I've been doing things that I haven't been able to do for 3 or 4 months. I walked into the garage, which I could do now without any pain. I walked into the garage and there's a 50-foot extension cord there. I didn't have the energy to pick it up and put it away before. Put it away. I fixed up my trike, got all the trash out of in front. I went for a 2-mile ride. I mean, it was just incredible. I have rejoined the human race. Currently, I'm doing my taxes from last year. I mean, that's really taxing if you get the pun. So I thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you for all the support. I got a lot of support from a lot of people, and I appreciate it. And by the way, Devin has already called me, and I'm going to call him after I'm done with this. It's just, I'm so thankful. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to do this again. I didn't have the energy to do it. Talk to you later.